All right, guys, moving on to our second bit of movie news today. There has director Chris Columbus. He directed the first two Harry Potter movies. He very famously did Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, and, a host of other films. He's a fantastic director. He's been around for a long time. Well, he has a few thoughts about the Home Alone reboot. Chris Columbus, he is not a fan of the remake, of the reboot. And I have a few thoughts to join with his. But, first of all, if you're not familiar, Disney Plus has gone ahead and greenlit, and I believe they've already started production on the Home Alone reboot, or remake. Here's how I feel about remakes. And I know everybody feels different about remakes. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube almost religiously, and his viewpoint on remakes, not entirely my view on remakes and reboots. His whole thing is, why not go for it? And if it's great, hey, we've got something even more to celebrate. And if it sucks, well then, hey, we still have the original. Like, no harm, no foul, right? I'm slightly of a different opinion there. This is where I stand. I feel like there are certain properties that are lightning in a bottle. Maybe Home Alone is lightning in a bottle, maybe not. But, I don't think it's unfair to say that projects like Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, on and on, Jaws, Jurassic Park. I don't think that it's unfair to say that these movies are lightning in a bottle. You're not going to capture, or, I can't say that you're not, that you can't. It is unlikely that you're going to capture lightning in a bottle the same way, with the same feeling, or like the same type of magic that it did, that the original did, right? Now, of course, there's plenty of sequels to Home Alone. There's plenty of sequels to Jurassic Park. There's a whole bunch of sequels to Jaws. Tons of sequels and spin-offs from Star Wars, right? And, same thing with Lord of the Rings. They did the prequels for The Hobbit, which I get it was an entirely different story. That's kind of a different situation scenario, right? But I get it. There are certain properties that have become so indelible in the social, in all of our social consciousness. You know what I'm trying to say. Social consciences, however you conjugate that. That I don't think that we need to remake a lightning in a bottle kind of thing. Unless, here's my qualifier for reboots and remakes. A reboot is a little bit different, but a remake is just retelling the same exact story with the same, story progression, with the same characters. Obviously, it's other actors playing those characters, but it's the same exact story. Very, very little changes with a remake. With the reboot, take Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990, and then, you have those three movies, and, arguably the first one is the best of any Ninja Turtle property ever made. And then 2 and 3 were meh. But then, 20 some years later, Michael Bay comes along and reboots the franchise. And it's, hey, we have a brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Was it a remake of the original 1990? No, it's a completely different story. Reboots are something entirely different. So if you're going to reboot the Home Alone series or franchise, you're going to do something completely different. I guess kind of keep the same concept. Hey, the whole, it rests on the premise of there's a kid at Christmas who gets left at home. His family, whatever the circumstances, a kid has to survive on his own in his own house, right? So reboots and remakes. I'm okay with remakes and, even reboots. As long, here's my qualifier. As long as you have something new to say, how do you update it in a way that makes sense? Like, why are you doing it, first of all, and why are you doing it now? What is it about now that it's important? What do you have that's new to say? Can you elevate? Can you elevate the subject matter? Can you elevate it? Is there some, what new do you have to say? What new do you have to contribute? And this is what director Chris Columbus had to say. He actually had a lot to say about this. So buckle up. Right here in the middle of the page, Chris Columbus says, "No, nobody got in touch with me about it, and it's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned," Columbus said to Insider. "What's the point? I'm a firm believer that you don't remake films that have had the longevity of Home Alone." He says longevity. I say lightning in a bottle. You're not. Well, here you go. He said lightning in a bottle. You're not going to create lightning in a bottle again. It's just not going to happen. So why do it? It's like doing a paint by numbers version of a Disney animated film, a live action version of that. What's the point? It's been done. Do your own thing. Even if you fail miserably, at least you've come up with something original. He goes on to say, "I can even be accused of it myself with Home Alone 2, Columbus continued. That movie is basically a remake of the first Home Alone. Does it need to exist? Yes, because some of those stunts make me laugh really hard, but I just don't believe that it should be done." I feel like he's contradicting himself just a little bit. He goes on to say, "There's going to be a Stoned Alone with Ryan Reynolds. Heaven knows only what that will be. A stoner version of Home Alone? Listen, have fun. I just feel do something new. Life is short." So, I mean, yeah, director Chris Columbus, he drew the line in the sand just a little bit. He drew the line in the sand. Again, like, I'm all for reboots and remakes if it's for a film or a property or an IP that you really genuinely feel like we can tell a better story. We can do it again and it can be better, Reboots, because again, arguably, Jurassic World is a reboot. I mean, it's also a sequel. Sequels are something entirely different, right? Sequels are very, very different. But a reboot, okay, I mean, we can have that argument. A remake of Home Alone, I don't think it's such a great idea. I side with Christopher Columbus in this. If they were going to do another sequel, you know how like the National Lampoon, they did Vacation. They did a brand new Vacation movie, and that was okay. I mean, sure, why not? So if they were going to do another Home Alone sequel, okay. I mean, sure, why not? I don't know. I just feel like making an official declaration and saying it's a remake, we're going to try and capture lightning in a bottle again. I just don't. I mean, I don't think it's the best of ideas. It's also coming out on Disney Plus. It's not coming out for a theatrical run. It's got a few big names attached to it. I don't know. I just don't see this as being a great idea. But the question is, for you guys, what do you think of the Home Alone remake? Would you rather it be rebooted? Would you rather it be sequeled? Where do you stand on this? Are you just okay with it? Do you think it's going to be fine? Are you looking forward to it? I encourage everyone to throw out their opinions there. I'm very interested to see what you have to say. Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share, because that is exactly what Batman from the animated series would want you to do. His name is Batman.